Scorpio, this is your week ahead tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is a message for Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign, or whoever's drawn to this, because believe me, if you're not a Scorpio and this popped up on your feed, this is definitely your message. And it arrives to you at just the right time. And this is where your message begins. So, guys, I gotta finish the shuffle. I always have to finish my shuffles. Ooh. Somebody's trying to attack something like that is your tradition. Somebody's trying to bring it down. Or there's been a lot of attacks on your finances lately. Let's get back to it because there's some sort of message coming in and decision that's going to be made that's going to help you make a decision of which direction to go or how to move forward. Because there has been attacks here with regards to either a financial institution or attacks on your marriage, attacks on something that you were committed to, attacks on something that you held dear or thought of as, tradition of something that you thought you could always depend on. Somebody's trying to take aim. Ooh, aren't they stupid? And ultimately, I think what's happened is it's become very, very clear who this is. I don't like to be paranoia inducing. I'm just reading the cards. So what does this mean for you? It means that you're going to be able to take informed actions at this point. So and we're going to get into exactly who this is, what this is, where these attacks are coming from. It's almost like there was this low vibrational energy trying to prevent you from getting connected to the officiation. Something is about to be made official. It's all set up, but then there is this low vibrational bullshit that's getting in the way of it. And I don't think it matters why it's there. I think it matters that it's clear how low vibrational it is and how petty it is. And ultimately, we need to figure out what to do about it, correct? So let's dig in. 5 of Swords. What do we do about it? What do we do about it? Why is it what do we do about it? What is it? Ooh, okay. So something from the past. Pettiness. This could be an ex. This could be a circumstance, even just in some ways holding on to a situation or a circumstance that happened in the past, something that was actually quite lovely or beautiful, or just a concept that you had in your head, sort of daydreams or melancholy about a situation could be really impacting and negatively impacting what's happening right now, what's happening in the present. So this could be coming from your own mind, this sort of fantastical attachment that you still have to something that you wanted or that you expected. Kind of idealistically, a lot of times we do that to ourselves when our reality isn't living up to our fantasy, right? But fantasy, we don't live in fantasy, right? We gotta move on from that. So that could be partially what's defeating you, or there is some sort of X going on here. Lovers, it could be very much people who are low vibrational and do not want you happy in your current situation. Not happy that you're happy. Putting petty shit in the way. Because these are the clarifiers that came out with the 5 of Swords. Lovers, and is like somebody that still wants you. Somebody that's still connected to you. Or the fact that somebody's trying to attack you or defeat you because you got a connection or something is working out in your life that somebody else doesn't want working out in your life. Petty. Petty. And once again, this card came out. So it's probably somebody from the past. Right? Or somebody that doesn't like the connection that you've always had. This doesn't have to be romantic, of course. I think always take it where it resonates, guys, because this could easily be like, I don't know, something working out, like a business partnership, you know. It's somebody that you're really closely connected to. It's something that's really working out. It's something that's really, really going to grow big and be very strong for you and have quite an impact on your life. Something, it's not a thing, it's a partnership. And it's a good partnership. It's a healthy partnership, and it's a productive partnership. But there's a lot of this Five of Swords is people attacking it, or somebody intentionally attacking it, trying to bring it down, trying to bring it lower, bring it to its knees, and destroy what it actually is. And so, you have a confirmation of what it actually is. It is a good thing. It is something that is, once again, productive and can be it's just very, very good. It's very healthy. But this energy is attacking it because it's not happy about it. Now, what you have to do in this, first of all, I know it's really easy to get angry. As a zodiac sign that's ruled in part by Mars, it's really easy to get angry. But it's not necessarily productive. And it's not necessarily the way that is meant to handle this situation. In fact, your anger could easily be turned against you here. Especially with Mars and Cancer and retrograde, like it's not going to work for you right now. The explosive nature that could normally intimidate. It's not going to work for you. So there's some strategery that you're going to need to go about dealing with this situation. And a lot of times it's just allowing themselves to reveal themselves and expose what they're actually up to. And self-exposure will injure them more than anything you could do for them. Well, a lot of times, and we'll get into it, like what is Scorpio supposed to do about this energy? But a lot of times stepping aside and let karma just handle the shit. That takes a lot of faith and it takes a lot of patience. Love. Oh, yeah. Just offer up love. Offer up love. Temperance is here. Oh. See the way it's going to work itself out. We have Piscean energy here. So you do have to have a lot of faith. Hand it over to love. An offer of love, maybe even marriage. That's confirmed, two people combining and making something work and making a situation work, even though it seemed like it was impossible to balance with regards to the unknown. So ultimately, what God's calling for you to do, at least in this situation, is continue to proceed. There is something that is unknown, and you cannot be sure of it. I don't think you're supposed to. Let's get, okay. Moon card. What is this unknown? What is this? An ending. Lots of pain. Lots of backstabbing. Guys, can I ask you something? Is this you? Because what this is turning out to look like is almost like you're trying to make this go away. You're trying to push this under the carpet. You're trying to pretend like these attacks aren't happening. But what the universe is revealing here is that tactic is going to get you even worse, hurt worse, to a point where it's just going to end, or you're going to take on too many injuries. So it's not ignoring it, right? You can't love this into not hurting you. So you do have to address this. You have to address it, okay? Or else there's just going to be instability here when it comes to your connection or your celebration, right? So it's definitely like, don't let this build up anymore, guys. because there is a sense of it's going to throw you off. I think you're in the right situation, you're in the right relationship, but there is instability here. You do have to move forward and trust that you'll be able to handle the instability. Don't let your fears stop you because of some sort of ideals that you've held for a while, or some kind of fantasy you held when you were a kid. Don't let that stop you. There is a level of faith that you're going to have here, but that doesn't mean not addressing it or assuming you can make it go away by pretending it could go away. Okay. I got a little bit more. Let's see. Moon card, please. Conclusions are within reach. Emotions are running high. Okay. So this is emotional. We do have a full moon coming up on the 12th of February. If you're watching this, February 2025. If you're not watching this when it first comes out, take a look around that time and think what was happening in your life, because there's something associated with it that you're coming back to. That's why you're getting this reading now. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. Select all notifications so that when I go live, this is the only place I go live and give free public tarot readings. You might want to participate in that, and then you'll get notified when I'm live. And if you want a personal reading, I absolutely provide those. Just remember to go to my website, the only place you can book with me. And there's a couple of different readings that I do, so choose the one that's right for you. www.bornwithoutboundariestarot.com. So we have full moon here, full moon eclipse. So this could go out to March. I think March is the last eclipse we're going to have for a while. And so something has to end. Something has to finish or complete or be released and let go. Now, this could very well be that there are somebody, it's almost like maybe one of you is hanging on. Like you don't want to admit that a past relationship or the partner that you had is really nasty. Is really somebody it's almost like one of y'all is sticking up for somebody that doesn't deserve to be stuck, like that doesn't deserve your defense, that doesn't deserve your excuses anymore. Like to be nice, to be kind, to be loving, to try to keep things peaceful. You're like, oh, they didn't mean that. They didn't mean that. They didn't mean that. But how many times can you say they didn't mean that before you have to admit, oh no, they absolutely fucking meant it, or else they wouldn't keep repeating it. You know what I'm saying? One time is a mistake. 2 times is sloppy. 3 times, you got to admit it's intentional. And I feel like something's been going on here. Like how many times are you going to let somebody stab you in the back? And it could be causing problems between you and your current job, your current boss, or your current partner. There is somebody from the past getting in the way. And your kind heart is making too many excuses for them. And they're doing it intentionally. That's what the reading, and you may have a hard time admitting that to yourself, because what that means is you're going to have to confront this person, and you're going to have to see a side of them that you probably don't want to admit, because it's probably going to be harder for you to get this person in your life. They got their claws into you somehow, right? Maybe there's obligations between you. Maybe it's a co-parenting situation. Maybe you still got contracts with this person. Whatever it is, on some level, you want to try to keep the peace, but at what cost? Because somebody here is trying to keep the peace at the cost of making themselves vulnerable to somebody who is not trying to keep the peace with them. You know, it's like, oh, let's make this all work. I want to avoid a fight. Sometimes you can't avoid a fight. Sometimes you got to turn around and you got to fight. And I'm not calling for violence here. I'm calling for confrontation. I'm calling for you demanding that somebody be held accountable. Because at this point, somebody is taking advantage of your kindness, knowing that you don't want any trouble. You want to keep the peace for whatever reason. Maybe you got a special occasion coming up. Maybe you just don't want to get into legal paperwork, whatever it is. But trying to avoid the conflict is actually it's going to start to degrade the situation that you're in, that you really should be protecting, and you're leaving it vulnerable by not confronting this. And ultimately what the universe is saying is, you're just going to explode. It's just going to come out of you. Scorpionic energy, even if you're not a Scorpio, Scorpionic energy does tend to be more in control of its emotion, almost too controlled, almost like detached from its emotion. And that's why when all of a sudden that emotion gets too much, you guys just, you turn red. The whole room turns red. So it's like, in order to not get to that point, because remember, you kind of want to preserve what you're trying to protect too. And when the room turns red, that's going to be vulnerable and get damaged too. So it's better if you just confront and admit to yourself, now, these people are pressing me to the last of my nerve. And I have given way too much already, and I'm not giving anymore. And so a boundary is going to be set no matter how uncomfortable it makes somebody. This boundary has to be set, because if I let them through this wall, they're going to infect my entire project. They're going to infect my entire situation. And I'm just not, you should not be willing to let that happen in order to avoid the uncomfortable truth that this motherfucker isn't the reliable, upstanding person you want them to be. Girl, stop. Heightened intuition. Be extra aware of your inner knowingness as it's trustworthy. So already God's calling you and saying, Scorpio, viewer, you already know. Don't even make it like I'm arguing with you. You've already told yourself this. You already know. I don't know why you're trying to deny what you already know. There's a lot of good reasons we throw in the way. Let's go to the extended. I want to get deeper into this. We got to know. The link is down below. I've also pinned it to the top of the comment section. I love you guys.